Hello. This. Now everyone says that I've been defending the Wii U and Nintendo a little too much, and yeah, it is true. I am, and there's a few reasons why. A, right now they're the only console out there, and the PS Vita, from what I understand, didn't hit their sales quota of 1 million consoles. Nintendo, I think, finally did. I think they were a little underwhelmed because the console was a little overpriced and they didn't have very good games except maybe the Street Fighter 4 game, which is actually pretty good. It's just some of the frame rates is pretty shitty, but it's still a great game for the 3DS. Now, as for the Wii U, well, I'm going to say this new upcoming generation, the best console out there right now to wait for is the Wii U, mainly because, well, there's no other consoles yet. I mean, not much competition there. I mean, I'm not going to say that the Wii U doesn't have its share of problems. I mean, I'm not exactly happy with the touchscreen in the middle. I mean, yes, I know it's a reactive touchscreen, and the reactive is okay, and as well cheap to manufacture, which helps lower the price of the Wii U, so customers don't have to pay so much for it. I mean, a compactive touchscreen, the one that's on the PS Vita, is pretty pricey, and adding that with an OLED screen, that's even more expensive, which means Sony is losing billions of dollars into that thing. But yeah, to be clear, I'm not happy with the touchscreen on there, but see, there's really only and yeah, I do have one more complaint that there is no Ethernet on the back of the Wii U. I've looked at all the tech specs. Basically, it's going to be a Wi-Fi. It's the Xbox 360 in reverse. For the Xbox had a Ethernet plug-in, and you had to add the Wi-Fi, but Nintendo's going to have it where it's Wi-Fi only, and you have to add the Ethernet USB cord in, just like the MacBook Airs. Uh, and yes, Nintendo's going to use USB 2.0, which is another more cheaper thing to use, as well as standard VGA cameras. And since the sensor board on and it's the controls will have its own sensor board, which if you knew the regular Wii sensor board, it's basically just two LED lights. And that's to help so you can use the Wiimote with conjunction of the new Wii U controller. And mics, speakers, headset controls, as well as the gyroscoping are all pretty cheap. What really worries me about the Wii U, and I actually been wanting to say this until Sam started saying some batshit crazy things about Nintendo, was, and these are the two things that worries me: price, RAM, well, actually three, and hard drive space. I'm hoping that at least we get a good amount of hard drive space, which is the minor of my complaints because I know you can hook up any USB hard drive, which is a nice function that I'd like hearing from Nintendo or even Sony, hell, even from Microsoft. Just go to Walmart, buy a hard drive or a USB hard drive, plug that in your console, and let it go. That's a great idea. But the other thing is RAM. I'm at least hoping to pass 512 megabytes of RAM. And the main reason only 512 I'm saying that is because, well, everyone knows that both Xbox 360 and PS3 and even the handhelds like the iPod and iOS devices, basically the operating system is shut down and the game becomes, the basic OS with only a few functioning in the background. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why can't the Wii U have like 12 gigs of RAM? Well, the Wii U isn't going to be a fucking computer, and it's not going to be playing games, doing your documents, as well as doing a shitload of calculations all in the background. It doesn't need that much RAM. But right now, rumors are saying about 765 megabytes of RAM, or at least 1 gig. I think 1 gig's overkill, but if they want to go with it, that's perfectly fine, and I'll go with it. And I think that it's probably going to be GDR3 RAM, and not the XDR2 RAM. To let you know, the PS3 has XDR RAM, but people think that the Wii U is going to have XDR2 RAM, but I don't think they are. I think they're going to stick with GDR or 3 RAM, just like Microsoft is with their next Xbox. It's just cheaper to produce, even though they can have a high-end graphics card and it'll be cheaper to produce, and basically most computers are run by it. But this is the part that worries me because I've heard some rumors that and its price. What is the price of the Wii U? And that's what really is going to be the deal breaker for me. Right now I'm hearing that EB Games priced the Wii U at $600 and then immediately took it down as soon as the story broke. I'm hoping it's not true. It also had to do with the price point for Australia, and as we know, Australia basically is, well, their Macs are not cheap there. And as for the Wii being underpowered, I mean, it's a little bit more powerful than the Xbox 360 and PS3, but won't be when the next consoles come out. And Nintendo's doing this deliberately because they did this with the Wii. When the Wii came out, it was like $200, and the Xbox 360 was about $400, and the PS3 was about 600. And of course, dead last was the PS3, even though the PS3 had an overpowered CPU, an underpowered GPU, and insignificant RAM. And the proof came out when the PS Vita came out with its cross game chat, but yet the PlayStation 3 can't have cross game chat. And the Xbox 360 had a graphics card that wasn't released out in market yet, so they got a heads up, and of course they lost billions with it. But most rumors are saying that the new Xbox and the PS3 probably won't be that powerful because they want to develop cheaper consoles. Because this generation, most of you don't understand it. Nintendo with their Wii consoles profited a lot, even though the developers hated the Wii. The casual gamers bought it up and ate it up like candy, crack, and so forth. The Xbox 360 ended up getting all the hardcore gamers, and with all the hardcore people who want to do first-person shooters, but they ended up in second place and still lost a shitload of money. And the PS3 pretty much just lost money all around. I mean, Xbox 360 or Microsoft at least tried to make back the money they lost by making you pay more for the Xbox Live and all this other stuff. But Sony seemed to just like taking their money out of their wallets and just watching it all fly away because their online service was free. Ouch. And with Nintendo's new gaming console, they said, okay, it's more powerful than your current consoles, but it ain't going to be as powerful as your next gen consoles because we're going to hopefully sell this at least the price point of maybe $300, which is good. I think 400 is overdoing it. I hope to God it ain't 600, because then I'll pretty much just say right there, Nintendo's dead. It won't bounce back from $600. I mean, fucking Sony hasn't bounced back from that price point, and they still haven't, by the way. But basically, they said our machine's not going to be as strong as your future machines, and we pretty much already knew it from the start. So go ahead, make your high-powered machines. But we're going to go sell a machine that will be out in market maybe 1 or 2 years ahead of you. Already get the customer balance. Make our consoles at least cheap as humanly possible, and you'll have overpowered, overpriced machines yet again. So, and I think Microsoft got the message because rumors are that they're going to, well, they want to go the Wii route with their new Xbox, and a lot of people are saying they don't want to beef up the graphics this time. That they want to maybe just duplicate the Xbox 360 and just have an integrated Connect, and then show it at the new E3 that's coming up. But that's basically my guess. And as for Sony, they want to be dead last again and probably end up with another overpriced console, which, they're already financially hurting from the PlayStation 3. Congrats, guys. I mean, yeah, your PlayStation 2 was great, but now the Wii is starting to beat the PlayStation 2 because, well, the PlayStation 2 is just no longer have as many games as it used to have developed for it, and the PlayStation 2's been out for way, way, way too long, and it's literally the gen before last gen. And I'm sorry, with the lagging cells in the PS Vita, it's pretty much proven. Power, having the most powerful console does not make you win the fucking war. I mean, just go look at the TurboGrafx 16. That thing was more powerful than Sega Genesis, and the Sega Genesis still kicked its ass. Sega Genesis kind of kicked the Super NES's ass, but I think they both end. I think Super NES and Genesis both ended on a tie. Well, that's all I got. Talk to you last time. But yeah, the TurboGrafx 16 was a powerful console, but it died.